So do you have any like hopes or preferences for let's say number of companions? Do you want another three companion TARDIS, get back down to just one?
Yeah,
Like what do
no,
you
I think I think there's always that special dynamic, right? Like that sweet spot was with Rose and then Mickey occasionally. Like that sweet spot was with Amy, but then Rory was kind of there. Like having that dynamic of a companion that is like truly attached to this idea of traveling, and then having that one that kind of comes along not because they're necessarily like wholly bought into this idea of traveling with the doctor, but because they can't bear to let this other person go on without them. I think there's a special sauce there. There's a special dynamic there that would be fun to see if it could be recreated. I don't think you can ever recapture the magic that we've seen with kind of those different groupings. But it would be interesting to revisit something like that. Yaz and Dan, that's not really the same mix, right? Like they're
mm.
missing some of that seasoning to make that sauce simmer, but they're I like
Yeah,
something
it's definitely
about that
not the
mix.
same mix because Dan
Yeah.
kind of he kind of came along after, right?
Right.
Like
Right.
we lost Graham and Ryan and got Dan instead of them kind of starting together. But
Yeah.
I I personally hope that they don't come back. Like they don't carry on.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm fine with both of those characters. Dan has kind of fizzled for me a little bit. I liked him more in the beginning. I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm not on the Dan boat that much anymore. Maybe the last episode had something to do with that. I'm not sure. Uh, I just don't know how it works for him. Like, how does he fit in? He doesn't seem like he fits very well
I
as a
think
companion.
I think that's the thing. Like with a lot of Chibnall's writing, right? Like seems really, really good until you realize we've run out of runway. Like there's nowhere else for this story, for this character development. Like there's nowhere else for it to go. And it's just like, oh, all my like expectations, all my hopes, they're not going to be fulfilled. It's just going to fall flat. Like we have to take off at this point because we're running out of runway. Dan, he seemed like there was a lot of promise for this character to like be enjoyable, something to develop. And then this last episode, it's like, oh dang, we have one more episode. Like, what can really take place? He calls up his old girlfriend and he's gonna go back to her. Like that's the extent of
Right.
his character at this point.
Yeah, it did seem like when they introduced him, there was a lot of potential for him as a companion because you even got like the parents
Yeah.
introduced, which,
Yes.
usually when they introduce the parents of a companion, those parents tend to come back at some point.
Yeah.
Like they're
Yeah.
kind of recurring characters. I don't think we will see Dan's parents again. I don't
Yeah.
know.
No.
Uh, but it seemed like they were kind of setting up for a longer run with him.
Yeah.
But, you know, who knows what the plans are with those characters. But I think Yaz has kind of run her course. And especially with what they've been kind of introducing with her and the doctor and having that kind of romantic connection.
Yeah.
I think whatever happens to the doctor, I would kind of like to see Yaz move on.
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
I think that's what I hope they don't do is play out the whole like Rose really tied to Eccleston
Mm.
and then Tennant shows up and now it's like, who are you? Or Clara really attached to Smith and then Capaldi shows up and it's like, who are you? I really hope they don't play out the whole like, yeah, is really attached to Whitaker and then Gatwa shows up and it's like, who are you? Like,
I could see Yaz being almost like angry at the regeneration and then being like, I know better than you.
oh yeah, oh
You're not
totally,
you're not the doctor. Like
right, yeah,
I know better than you. Let me like I don't know. I just don't like the potential dynamic there.
yeah, that makes sense.
Maybe I'm putting too much of my own baggage into the dynamic, but I don't know. I just feel like that would be a less interesting. I'd rather have a fresh start. Give
Yeah,
us a new doctor, brand new companions that we can get excited about. Just do everything new. New
yeah,
TARDIS interior, new Sonic, everything. Just let's
it's
start fresh, new showrunner, kind of like what they did with Smith when he showed
yeah,
up. It's just like
yeah,
almost like clean slate.
yeah. The TARDIS is burning on the inside, and then it's something totally new the next time we get to see it.